The College Basketball Experience Summer Coaches Tour for the head coach of the High Point men's basketball program, Alan Huss edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with our new promo code TCESGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is Rhythm, RITHMM today. And welcome everybody into the College Basketball Experience Summer Coaches Tour. We continue our tour on, and we head to the Big South, the state of North Carolina. Coach Huss joining the show here in a minute, coming off an unbelievable first year, 27-9 in the Big South for the High Point Panthers. They win the regular season in his first year. They go to the CBI. They go all the way to the finals. Hell of a first year. No other way to put it. Looking forward to seeing what's in store for them in year number 2 and beyond. But first, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin.
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Also known as Mac Tonight over here at the College Basketball Experience. I don't know what's going on. There we go. On replay, I guess. That's it. The music wants to keep playing tonight. Technology. You know, I am a former video coordinator. It doesn't mean I'm very good with technology. It just means I was smarter than the coaches around me with technology. But like I said, Coach Huss joining the College Basketball Experience here in a minute to talk High Point, reflect on what it was. A great first year in 23-24. His time with Greg McDermott at Creighton and the different stops at the high school ranks. And playing at Creighton as well, that just talked about his journey, talked about the Big South, Dana Altman, and playing with guys like Kyle Korver, really good guys around him at Creighton. But real quick, let's pay the bills before we bring on Coach Huss, because we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy over here at the College Basketball Experience. Sign up today using our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That is the Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, baby. If you don't have your trip booked to Viva Las Vegas yet, well, football's right around the corner. This weekend, August 22nd through 24th, Ryan and Sean will be out there. Use our promo code SGP15 to save 15% off your hotel for the sign-up weekend. Participate in the Circa contest between now and September 7th, or just use our proxy. And you can play anywhere with the proxy, proxy.footballcontest.com to save you $50 off with the promo code SGP and a nice free hat like this. Back over here at the College Basketball Experience. I've teased it out long enough. The head coach of the High Point Panthers and the defending Big South regular season champions, Coach Alan Huss. And we continue our summer coaches tour on the College Basketball Experience with the head coach of the High Point Panthers, Coach Alan Huss. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you joining. I know you guys are super busy. Summer is coming to an end. We tipped the ball off in less than 3 months. Fill everybody in what you guys have been doing since a great first year ended.
Yeah, we had 8 weeks with our 8 weeks with our guys this summer, and I think the guys really did a nice job. They worked hard. They've made some strides in the weight room, on the floor. Of course, we only get 4 hours a week on the floor as a team, so they did a lot of work on their own individually to improve their games, expand their bags. And I think we really made some progress. We've had the last couple of weeks, guys have been home, and they're starting to show back up. I think we've got 6 on campus. The rest of them will come tomorrow and Saturday.
Great to hear, and it'll be here before we know it. But Coach, I want to rewind back to your playing days. You played at Creighton, played for Dana Altman. Just take me back to your playing career and when you knew you wanted to get into the coaching industry.
I was a very average player, and was fortunate to have good timing and show up with some other guys who were really good players at the same time. So I don't know. I certainly never thought about it while I was playing. I went into the business world when I graduated. And then it wasn't until started training some guys and coaching some high school basketball, just kind of on the side as something fun to be still connected to the game in some way, shape, or form, that I caught the bug. And that was probably a couple, 3 years after I graduated. And kind of once I made that decision to jump fully onto the deal or into the deal, kind of haven't looked back.
Yep, and then from there, like you said, you got right into it. You started at the high school ranks, then you went over to Culver Military and La Mary School as well. Talk about being a head coach at that young an age and just some of the lessons you learned being a head coach before you were 30.
Yeah, the high school deal is, I think, people don't understand how many great coaches there are at that level. I really liked that level. I didn't really have any desire to come to the college level. That was kind of what I thought my calling was to be. It was to be at the high school level and help kids, continue their journey onward to college. But it was interesting, when you're at that level, you can make some mistakes without being overly scrutinized. I certainly made my fair share of them. And it was an unbelievable way to learn. I don't know that I'd necessarily suggest it. I spent a long time there for someone that's trying to climb the ranks. But, it was a lot of fun for me and certainly helped me expand and, just learn and grow as a coach without a ton of pressure to win.
Yep, and I've always said the best coaches come from the high school ranks or the JUCO because they wore so many different hats. They learned how to build a program at the smallest levels with less resources. From there, you go to a great Mountain West job, New Mexico, and then to Creighton. What were some of the things you took from Craig Neal and Greg McDermott that helped you when you came back into this year at High Point?
The interesting thing for me is that I never really I spent 1 year at the high school level as an assistant coach, 2 years, I guess, total as an assistant coach. So I didn't spend a ton of time as an assistant coach. Mm-hmm. And so I had to learn really quickly when I got to the college level what it meant to be a great assistant. And how I could be impactful and affect winning positively when I was in those spaces. I didn't get to kind of ease into it and be a support staff person and or a graduate assistant or anything like that. It was interesting. It was an interesting way to do it. But both those guys had an unbelievable influence on me. Coach Neal gave me an opportunity. He saw me as a collegiate basketball coach and brought me to that level. And his understanding of especially offensive basketball and set basketball ways to attack certain coverages really opened my mind. And then Coach Mack, just kind of the freedom and pace that we played with there, and the confidence that he instills in his players. I think that's the interesting thing about having multiple people to learn from. You learn a little bit here and a little bit there, and kind of pick and choose the parts you want to take forward as you get your own opportunity. So it's interesting. It's interesting to kind of, mold your values and what's important to you is from all the different people that impact you along the way.
Yep. And your last year at Creighton, you guys go to the Elite Eight, heck of a team. And they had a heck of a year last year as well. You get the call from High Point, you get the job last spring. Take me back to that process, how you went about hiring your staff. We're in a new era of college basketball, the transfer portal, NIL. Everybody's still trying to figure it out a little bit. How did you go about that whole process with your staff?
Yeah, I mean, I found out just prior to our Elite Eight game that I was gonna be the new head coach at High Point. I took the job sight unseen, and it's kind of the old saying, "Be careful what you wish for." all of a sudden, we're the team is headed back one direction, and my family and I'm headed the opposite direction to North Carolina to get this thing started. And it was really a whirlwind. I was fortunate to have 3 guys that I'd worked with at Creighton at different stretches that I think really understood what we were trying to do at Creighton, and were able to really kind of seamlessly install some of those same principles and ideas here that allowed us to find success at Creighton. Without those guys, it would have been really a difficult task. But and then, the interesting thing about our staff is I really gravitated towards guys that had similar paths to me, not necessarily the exact same path, but just exactly what you just said, guys that had success at a different level, AAU coaches, high school coaches, or both, and one junior college coach as well. So really went that way. I agree with you. I think guys that are humble enough to do some of the minutia that you have to be really sound at dealing with every day at those lower levels. I just think they prepare you in a different way. They just prepare you to be successful in this business. And so I gravitated towards those types of guys, and each of them had kind of their own set of things that they had done at lower levels. And I think it's served us well here at High Point.
It certainly did. I mean, you guys finished 27-9 your first year. There was a 12-game win streak in that time range. When did you know that you had you had something there in the first year? You see it all the time with first-year head coaches. It takes a year or two. You guys, I mean, you guys made it look easy, being able to win 12 in a row at one point, go 27-9. When did you know you had a pretty damn good group?
That's the thing when you're brand new like that. I just don't know that you really get a chance to step back and really take inventory and look at things and go, this is what I have, this is what I don't have. It's just kind of a constant battle every day of keeping your head above water that first year. And then we had probably our most proven 2 players, Liam McChesney and Dee Barnes, both missed the entire season. Kind of the 2 guys we had that had a lot of Division I experience were really proven at that level. So right about the time we thought we had it figured out there, and kind of mid-October, we found out both those guys were done for the year. So we had to kind of remake ourselves again. So right about the time I was thinking, all right, maybe we've got something here. We're doing some better things. We found out those 2 guys were out for the year, so we had to pivot again. And fortunately for us, we had a couple of young kids that were ready to step up, and both of those guys ended up being all freshman players. One was the freshman of the year. And I think those guys really stepped into some roles that maybe they were ready for, maybe they weren't, but I think they really helped us, last season. And, it's difficult to bet on freshmen, but that's the one lesson we learned more than anything else is that, the right freshman can still impact winning in a positive way. And I think we were proof of that last season.
Absolutely. And it was your first go around in the Big South. I joke you made it look easy, finishing first in the league, but just your initial thoughts going through the Big South once with programs like Asheville, Longwood, Radford, Winthrop, a lot of good coaches, different styles. What was your takeaways from the Big South first time going through it?
The league is really good. It's going to be really good again this year. We were 17th or 18th, depending on which metric you looked at the time, and out of the 33 Division I conferences. And I think what you see in our league is we have been, I think because we have great coaching kind of across the board, we have great programs across the board, we've really been able to retain a huge percentage of our best players that had remaining eligibility compared to other leagues. I think that speaks to the depth and the programs that have been built in this league. I think we surprised people maybe a little bit early last season. I don't know that we'll necessarily be able to do that this season. And we got out, we ran the table on the first time through, and then we dealt with a couple of injuries. Duke Miles, who was our leading scorer last season, missed a good portion of that, the second half of the season. And we had another guard, Kezajifa, that really stepped up for us. And, that's all part of it. As you go through a new league and new coaches, new programs, all these new styles of play to adapt, you don't know exactly what you have. And, it's all about being adaptive. As guys get hurt or guys don't play well, having another guy ready to step up. That's why it worked for us last season. We certainly hope we can do it again this season.
Yeah, and transitioning into year number 2, you've gone through the Big South. You know the different playing styles. You're more familiar with it. Your non-conference schedule. How do you approach that? Because you guys are going to be hard. I would imagine that not a lot of high majors want to play you guys because of your success last year. How do you go about that where you want to prepare your team for the Big South, but also making sure that you get there healthy at the end?
Well, we're still looking to get bought. That
Yeah,
answers your question about the high majors.
I figured.
We're trying very hard to find someone that's interested. So if any high major coach happens to stumble upon us here, we'd certainly love to play you. We've been a little bit unsuccessful in that space. We've still got a few holes in our schedule we've got to fill. I think we've found a little bit of a niche, and just we're starting to call some of the other people that nobody wants to play. So we've got a game with North Texas and who nobody wants to play. We've got a game with UAB who no one wants to play. We've got a game with App State who no one wants to play. So we've got 3 of those kind of people that are in that same space that we are, and we're playing them. And obviously there's a few in our league that fall into that category too. So we already get to play them twice. So I think we've got a really good schedule full of some really good programs, and we're excited about the schedule. We hope we can still find a high major opponent or two to stick on there, because that's fun for our players. It's also nice for our budget.
Yeah, absolutely, and gives you a chance to get on the national scene before we get to March. Coach, I've been to High Point. It's a beautiful campus. I want to ask you, what makes High Point University such a unique and special place for you?
High Point is really, we stand alone in a lot of ways. Just from a philosophical standpoint, really focusing on life skills, which is something people talk about a lot, but it's something that we act out here. I think because of that, our students are really prepared, whether they're student athletes or not, they're prepared to go into the real world and be functional. I think that's allowed our school to really grow quickly. You combine that with the fact that, we've got the God, family, country deal here. Some people don't like that we stand for God, family, and country.
Yep.
But a lot of, 50% or 60% of the population really likes it, and likes the fact that we have some values that are a little bigger than ourselves, that we stand for. And, I think those two things, they combine to create what we have, which is a school that's absolutely thriving, and it's a fantastic place to go to school. It's a fantastic place to work, to teach. We've got outstanding students and a beautiful campus to teach them and educate them and help them as they move forward. So I'm very fortunate. So is everyone else that gets to work at this place, because it really is tremendous.
Absolutely. And I forget who you played on that Thursday night game, but it was absolutely packed, and it was great watching the conference tournament be held at High Point as well, to kind of showcase how special and how electric that place can be, and how cool a campus it is. Coach, you've taken a bunch of your time. I appreciate you making time for the college basketball experience. I want to leave you with one last question. It's more so open-ended. Year 2 of the Allen Huss era at High Point. Year 1 was fun. Year 2, you guys look to make that step, get to the big dance. What's your message for all the High Point fans that will watch this?
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about what lies ahead. We feel like if you'd have told us at the beginning of last season that we were going to be 27, we're going to have 27 wins, I think everyone would have taken it, fans, players, coaches. But I think as we evolved as an organization, we figured out quickly that we had something special. We feel like we left a little bit of meat on the bone last season. We're going to come out. We're going to be hungry, and we're going to do our best to finish the job this season.
Year 1 was fun. Hey, you did as good a job as anybody last year coaching that team up, you and your staff, and you guys were fun to watch. I can't wait for year number 2 in the Big South. Coach, thank you for stopping by the college basketball experience. Best of luck this season, and definitely look forward to having you back on.
Sounds good. Thanks much, Ryan.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Allen Huss of the High Point Panthers, like we talked about it, he did as good a job last year as anybody in the country. 27-9 rebuild job right away, flipped it, win the Big South. And they've done a good job retaining that roster. They're going to be the favorite once again in the Big South, and we expect big things from High Point this year and Coach Huss. So thank him and that program for taking time to stop by the college basketball experience. Before we get out of here, let's pay the bills, the final bills, that is, because football season is here. College football and NFL are starting up, so get on over there to Rhythm. Create your own models, your winning models, that is, by going over to Rhythm. They have you covered for week 0 this weekend for the college football season, and the NFL is right around the corner next Sunday. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're also brought to you by Game Time. All you High Point fans want to get to a ball game this year? Well, no other better place to get your tickets than at Game Time. I love Game Time. We all love Game Time. It's they send you a picture of where your seats are, so that you know exactly what you're getting when you pay for it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use our code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Back here on the college basketball experience. Thank you again to Coach Alan Huss of the High Point Panthers. Like I said, man, they're going to be really good again next year. Everybody thinks they were good last year. They're going to be even better next year with what they were able to keep intact, what they did in the portal, and freshman class as well. So he's building that thing up into a mini juggernaut down there in North Carolina. Can't wait to check out High Point this year in the Big South. On tomorrow on the college basketball experience is Coach Dustin Kearns of the Appalachian State Mountaineers. We had a good discussion with him. And then Wednesday, we'll have Coach Rob Senderoff of the Kent State Golden Flashes. And we'll have, I'm trying to remember, Coach Andrew Wilson of VMI on Thursday. And then Coach Monte Ross of North Carolina A&T on Friday. Like I said, we're going to continue these summer coaching tour interviews all summer and all fall long. Shit, we're in the fall now. It's already August the 19th. So make sure you go check out the college football experience, all 134 team previews, breaking down each team in the land. Go check out the FCS experience. So that you guys know those games are starting as well this weekend. And go check out the Big 12 experience with me, Rush, and Troy. We all come together as one on youtube.com/the college experience. That's all I got. Hope everybody's enjoying their Monday happy hour, because this is another edition of
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Mac Tonight's Summer Coaches Tour signing off. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.